For any model railroader, this is the Garden of Eden. 1/3 of an acre devoted to what started as a hobby and has become this man's passion. It was when LGB, the German model maker, developed the G-scale train that garden railroading started to become popular. About quadruple the size of household miniatures, they needed room to run, so the backyards became their natural habitat. This one took 180 cubic yards of dirt to make level, 14 months to create. But now Roger and Faith Clarkson's backyard may well be one of a kind. His collection of 19 engines, 25 passenger cars, and 70 assorted boxcars have almost a quarter-mile of track to get all the exercise they could want. Mind you, they're no more immune to Mother Nature's whims than full-size locomotives, just problems according to scale. Little locos can be derailed by snails, gluing themselves to the track when vibration approaches. Even an army of ants plays havoc, immobilizing the wheels as they're ground into syrup. Problems with gophers, too, and heat and moisture, but all overcomable. Other than that, oh, what a playground for the trains, their engineer, even the engineer's wife.
What's appealing to me is that it's not just mechanical, it's something that needs decorative and creative scenery, which we can both share in doing.
Considering all the detail here of miniature communities of yesteryear through which the trains meander, you'd be tempted to say, Roger's just a kid who never grew up.
I've been in business for 30 years, and I feel I have the right to go back and be a child if I want to again. But I tell you what, I bring a lot of pleasure to a lot of people, and that's what I want to do in life, the rest of my life, is make people happy watching my trains run.
If it brings as much joy to engineer and mere spectator alike, it's a pastime beyond compare. In Riverside, California, Bruce Page, First Business. In Riverside, California, Bruce Page, Nation's Business Today. Fiber optics woven into a wall hanging, carpets inlaid with anything you want, tells you this is a most unusual gallery. As any seasoned European traveler knows, carpet sculpting is not new. It's been around for hundreds of years. But perhaps because it is relatively unknown in America and decorators are always looking for novel ideas, it's catching on now here for that added touch of class for both high-end homes and corporations alike. What the art needed was someone to bring it from the old world and popularize it for the new world. Not just recreate it, but simplify it, refine it, make it affordable enough to bring into the mainstream of American interior decor. And what prompted Volker Bauerle to be that someone? Exasperation.
I've been in the carpet business for 27 years, and about 5-6 years ago, I decided almost to quit because it got just totally boring. You know, you install green carpet, gold carpet, beige carpet, it just gets very tiring, and I was looking for a niche.
Volker found it all right. When homeowners find finishing touches like these are now possible, tying in favorite colors or designs, and at a reasonable price, they're quick to want on his bandwagon. Although he started out as only a one-man band, he's now launched a training school to help other like-minded entrepreneurs follow in his footsteps, meet the growing demand in their communities. At first glance, looks rather complicated. Not so, says Volker. Anybody who can thread a needle can do it. As evidence, he cites his wife Gina, for example.
I learned the craft of carving carpets without ever having any intention of doing so. I totally got caught up in it, and to the point where it became a passion.
A passion, it seems, that opens up ever new vistas over every horizon. In Brea, California, Bruce Page, First Business. You'd be tempted to call this fisherman's paradise, but then again, Rainbow Rancho is too good to be true. The chances of not catching a fish here are about 1,000,000,000 to 1, and most anglers prefer at least some contest. But for those who don't, well, this is heaven. That's because beyond the public facilities for more than half a century, this has been an aquaculture farmer's field of streams. Trout farming as a business in America has its origins back in Ohio about 150 years ago. This one just north of Palm Springs is somewhat unique in that the Shearer family has developed self-cleaning circular pools instead of long raceways. As common as that may be today in other fish farms, it wasn't when John Shearer came up with the idea decades ago, doubling his capacity, minimizing contamination.
The water comes around and circulates, which means the fish are spread out and they're swimming in a current. Then the water passes underneath the aeration device several times and adds more oxygen. And as it circulates, any of the excreta or trash or anything goes out the bottom and goes out, see?
From this locale, Rainbow Rancho now provides more than 800,000 pounds of trout every year to surrounding lakes and recreational areas. Such a unique and challenging business takes dedicated people to run it day in and day out, year after year.
25 years ago, I chose to come back and manage this versus doing something else with a college education. So sure, you have to love the business. You have to like to be your own boss and make your own decisions and suffer through the crisis and laugh when you can and cry when you can't. So yeah, I love the business.
Much as he loves it, after 50 years, the family now feels it's time to sell and retire. So the future of this happy hunting ground is uncertain. But then, no loss, sports purists would say, for this isn't really fishing.
I'd have to agree, actually. But it's fun.
And tasty. In Whitewater, California, Bruce Page, First Business. Now this is what you call a moray, a love boat of the most basic proportions. Your lover, comfy seat, bread, cheese, salami, and a bottle of bubbly, and a serenading gondolier guiding you through a maze of stunning waterways. Originally marshland till the turn of the century, when an enterprising land developer put up seawalls, dredged canals, and imported gondolas from Italy, all to create the sizzle to help him peddle properties as Naples Island. For 75 years thereafter, gondolas were seen no more till a couple of college students created a business on paper as a class project. Was it difficult to turn theory into reality?
No, very easy. It was just the old classic work ethic, just working all day and all night and keeping your head down and going forward.
7 boats now, 35 gondoliers operating 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, almost 50,000 customers annually. And what makes it so special a treat to a couple still romancing after 28 years of marriage?
I think just the idea that we did this and it was romantic, and the singing and the sway of the boat and the lovely scenery, it was wonderful.
The gondola getaway continues to grow this-a-way, completing the Italian experience by whisking cruise customers along to its own bustling oceanfront ristorante. Now each business feeds the other to a bottom line the old class project had never considered nor imagined. It's a fun business most of all, with gondolier chivalry occasionally being put to the ultimate test.
Well, I want to make sure that you know this is an exception, but I did take these 5 girls out one time, took them around, they were pretty tanked up. About halfway through the cruise, they decided to go skinny dipping. My favorite time was pulling them back up into the boat.
The gondola getaway, its owners admit, has possibilities of being just as much a success elsewhere in America. In years to come, they may expand. But for now, romantics will have to come to Naples. Naples Island, USA. Bruce Page, First Business. Naples Island, USA. Bruce Page, Nation's Business Today. Get ready. You're on.
Coming up on the SCA Sports Final.
This is Fantasyland Realized for Brooklyn accountant Michael Schleifer and LA lawyer Dennis Page. Sportscasters for one never-to-be-forgotten week. If you think there can't be many people willing to shell out $1,000 or more to be baptized into sportscasting, think again. 160 wannabes from age 13 to 67 have come to this summer's camp from as far away as Hong Kong and Australia.
At the line, Dan Bannister takes a couple of dribbles. The first.
Best part is this experience isn't just show with no go. It is front row and center, hands-on, do-it-or-die practice. Not broadcast anywhere, but play-by-play commentary of the NBA Summer League recorded on a take-home cassette. Instant feedback provided by pro sportscasters sitting at their side.
There are a lot of people around the country who have always wanted to do play-by-play. They think they're better than the guy they're listening to, and maybe they're driving a truck or tending bar, or they're a lawyer, and they say, you know, I've always wanted to do that, and I'm pretty good in front of my own TV set. This gives them a chance to see how good they are.
Baptism by fire commentating not on just one sport, but several over the 7-day camp. In this case, a chance to give their own play-by-play of one of the most exciting games of last year. And have you noticed, not just jocks here, some jewels too, making their own play for sportscaster limelight.
It's helping me because it's showing me how to act in the booth, how to think on my feet, how to talk about something when I don't know anything about it.
It's a very tough life, and especially now for women, because it's up to us to prove to the men and whoever else doesn't believe that we can do it, that we really can.
It's a good investment because it's what I'd prefer to be doing rather than being a bean counter. I've been an accountant for 14 years, wanted to do something like this all my life, and just took until now to take the plunge, so to speak.
Even if they don't make it on the national scene, count on them finding a place in play-by-play somewhere and loving every minute of it. At least now they've got a leg up and a demo reel for what's out there. In Los Angeles, Bruce Page, First Business.
But on the final sprint, Canadian Patrick Hansen took a...
In Los Angeles, Bruce Page, Nation's Business Today. Not very often you get to observe a high-class restaurant kitchen at work, but if you did, this is what you'd see. And chances are you'd find a bright red wolf surveying the scene. Wolf ranges have been renowned in the commercial field for more than 60 years, so much so, many Bon Appetit connoisseurs wanting the same results for their private gatherings just had to have one of these in their home, often violating residential codes by so doing. So great was that demand, Wolf concluded it was a market worth going after.
We went to the American Gas Association, that's the accrediting association, and we said, what do we have to do to our ranges to make them acceptable, approved for installation in the home? And after some effort, we were able to meet the AGA requirements.
The result is a line of 18 different models of residential ranges with various options retailing from $3,000 to $8,000. So seriously has it gone after homeowners, Wolf has just come out with this 25-inch supremely compact model to meet the small space limitations of urban dwellers in places like Manhattan. As much as there's a revolution taking place in what the well-to-do want in kitchen ranges, the story's the same for what they're demanding in refrigerators. Sub-Zero's one of several brand names stepping in to meet that need. One reason for popularity is their efficient use of energy.
But I think more importantly is the quality of the units. And when you get into built-in refrigeration, besides the look, they offer people quality and they offer off capacity, which is not found in regular freestanding refrigerators.
Couldn't be better timing for companies like Wolf and Sub-Zero to be coming on strong with residential products. Because of the luxury tax, what the well-heeled are not spending on cars, boats, planes, furs, and jewelry, they're investing big time in their kitchens. In Los Angeles, Bruce Page, First Business.